Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's your favorite girls. It's time for Dream Do Done one-ish. Every Monday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. You can set your clocks to one-ish. That's the new thing. We have coined it. When you'll have shirts soon that say one-ish.
Absolutely.
Who was it last week that said we put the ish in one-ish? Like we're taking it way too far.
The challenge is we have so much fun behind the scenes. You know, it's almost like we forget to go live. So,
yeah,
you know,
cut it off. Let's go live.
So that's the new show. It's the bloops and blunders, the pre-show of Dream Do Done. But on a serious note, it's a week of Thanksgiving. It's still Serena's birthday month, so she's still turning up. And we appreciate that we get to celebrate her all month long. You know how I feel about the birthday turn-up season. And, you know.
Listen, the turn-up has turned down. We're on recovery mode at this point. I don't have it in me.
You don't have it in you to go all month long.
I surrender. I'm done.
Well, I will attest that I did see her doing some things at the birthday celebration. She was getting it in. So maybe she is in recovery. I was not allowed to take any video or anything like that.
So you have no proof.
No proof. Just mind recall. Yeah, I think she had a great time.
Well, that is awesome. I wish I could have been there in Ohio. I can't wait till this Rona is done so we can just really have a in-person celebration. But since you're stopping, I'm gonna pick up the rest of the month for you because I lost some of October in my group run. So I still need to finish my turn.
It's all you. It's all you.
Well, welcome to the show. We are winding down the year together. You've been with us almost 2 years now. We appreciate you tuning in to Dream Do Done. The content that we share that you told us have been helpful to you. Then some of you have gone a step further and you've actually purchased our book. So shout out to Steven Jackson, who sent me a screenshot when his Dream Do Done journals arrived, and he's decided to give that as part of holiday gifts. So thank you, Stephen. If you are watching live or catching the replay, we appreciate you and the fact that you are gifting somebody with the ability to use this journal to really make a difference in how they close out this year and prepare for all the things that they will do in 2021. So I'm gonna turn it over to my co-host to say hello and greet you.
I just want to say he is all about the receipts though, because last week he said he was ordering. This week he has them. He is taking a picture. I'm like, he does not play. There's been plenty of things that even he said in the comments on this show that have happened and come to fruition. Like Dream Do Done, we about that life. That's all I got to say. And so are our listeners. You can see that right there.
And I love what you said about the receipts, because he came up with a book idea on the show. And the very next day started working on getting the trademarking and some of the other information. And to know, and he sent me a text, a credit to your show. And so we are grateful for people like Stephen who have taken what we've shared, who've used the information to actually move from dreaming, start doing so that you can get it done. So Stephen, that's your shout out today. We appreciate you, and we're wishing everybody a happy holiday season, and check on people. That's my challenge. Just check on somebody. A lot is going on. The holidays are not easy for everyone. So check on somebody, let them know that you care, that you're thinking about them, because you don't know what people are going through. And with this cray-cray of COVID-19, Lord Jesus, it's a lot going on. But I'm going to turn it over to my beautiful co-host. We'll start with Serena Brown-Travis, the Pulpit chick / birthday girl. And then we'll go over to Tamara, Hartley, the how-to coach.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was good to see you as always. I think the last time you saw me, I was still in my tender 30s. So I'm officially I'm officially 40. Right. But nonetheless, I am so glad and so grateful to be here, and I cannot wait to dive into today's show.
You already knew some sound effects were coming. You knew that, right? Oh my goodness. And again, it has been a great week for me as well. But I will say this is going to be a very different holiday for so many people. You know, I remember a couple of years ago, someone complaining that, you know, Thanksgiving was coming. They had to see everybody, be around all this family, go to everybody's house. They had to cook all this food. And it was kind of really a complaint because, you know, it just happens and it's overwhelming sometimes. But now many people don't get to do that at all. So it's like we complained about some things or we took it for granted. And now it's really a situation where a lot of people are not going to be able to spend time with family. They're not going to be able to cook everything that they want to cook or have big family gatherings. And so it's just going to be very different for everybody. So we got to wrap our arms and our minds around that. And wrap our arms around people because, I mean, my grandmother's not going to get to have Thanksgiving with everyone. And, you know, it doesn't take but a minute for all of us to get together anyway. It's not just Thanksgiving. We do that on a Wednesday. You can go to my grandmother's house, see everybody in the family, but it's just a little bit different. So my heart goes out to everybody. Just remember to be safe out there. If you are going to gather, be smart about it. Don't do the big family gatherings, but really just try to get through this season so that we can get back to normal. And that's what I've been telling my children. Like, you know what? We just got to get through this. No, it's not going to be what we think it is. Yes, I will make pound cake. I'm making pound cakes as like, you know, just to keep my family happy. My daughter wants one. So I said, I'm just making people pound cakes and sending them their way just so they can be happy. I'm doing what I can to contribute. So I just encourage you to do that as well.
Look, send me a pound cake.
Look, I got something for you too that's coming to you, Stacie. So
it must be nice to live in New York, Stacie. I tell you, you get all the benefits.
Well, Miss Serena Brown Travis, before you got smart, I have something for you as well. Hers is just different because, you know, she's a Zeta girl. It's just a little different.
I'll just remain silent. I don't want no issues. I don't want anybody coming out the bushes. I'm not talking crazy, so I'm just going to digress.
You know we go in on you, so just go ahead and leave it right there.
You see me like this, like you win. You win.
Thank you.
Hilarious. But you know what you said about doing stuff different. Somebody wrote a meme or said something about staying. Would you rather see everybody in Thanksgiving and be in ICU on Christmas? And I'm like, woo, that was like reality. Because here's the truth. Our medical system can't take another taxation. Like there are hospitals now that are too full.
Yeah.
You know, so
and I was listening to something in some of the rural hospitals where they're having problems, not only with the number of beds and things like that they have, but when they have some kind of serious case, whether it's COVID related or not, they don't have the resources to transport them to another hospital. I heard one nurse say they had called like 4 different hospitals before they could actually get somebody the help that they needed. And that's the scary part. And then really that's the underlying issue of why we all stayed home the first time, because we didn't want to overwhelm that hospital system. And a lot of people didn't really understand it, but now we actually see it in action.
Right. Well, I think also too, the fact that a quarter of the cases were named in November alone. And I know for here in Ohio, our system is totally backed up. So every day, you know, the governor will say, hey, we've got 7,000 cases, 8,000 cases. At this point, we don't know how many cases we have because the system is so backed up. So nonetheless, I think, and I love the advice that we've been getting on our national news, of course, the advice here, as much as we would love to have our parties and play Twister and, you know, play cards at the table and all of that, it's not happening. Like I even looked at keeping doors and windows opening when my mom comes over. And mind you, she was like, well, I'll even wear a mask. At first we would have thought like, oh, that's too far. No, at this point, we're wearing a mask. Like, it, you know, we've got to stay safe.
And I know there are tons of people that really still feel like this isn't real. All the numbers aren't real. They're doing too much testing or the tests are false. I don't care what you say. It does not change that people are dying from this. There are tons of people who get it and get over it. I get that. So the numbers to some are not so alarming because of that. But what I watch is that death toll. Definitely. And that makes you know that this stuff is real, whether the testing is off, whether it's skewed or whatever. We cannot deny the number of people that are passing away from this. And that's what I say, look at that as proof
Mhm.
as that this is the pandemic that we're in.
And our doctors and nurses. I mean, I don't think that they all collectively are like, oh, let's all gather on television and tell people we're stressed out. No, this thing is like, yeah, I mean, they are stressed, and I know that I have a couple friends who are nurses, and it's real. I'm sure you all have some people in the medical community. So we've got to be respectful of their occupation as well. Like it's not fair for us to just act like this is a leisure thing. And then, we will raise Cain if they're not getting adequate care in the hospital. So yeah. It's all good. I think we probably should shift to what we're grateful for, because I mean we can go
But we're grateful for what we're talking about, because this stuff is really real, and all of us are on this show today. You're tuned into this show today because we're living, we're breathing. Like, let's just start there with the gratefulness, because there's so many people that are affected and dealing with this or have dealt with it. You don't even know half the people that have dealt with it already, whether they had a mom or whatever. I mean, like, this show has dealt with it. So I know that this is absolutely real. So I'm thankful for that. Let me kick that off. I'm thankful to be on this show today, to be living and laughing today.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephen joined in. He said that they're playing games. I don't know if you heard your shout out earlier, Stephen, but we shouted you out and actually showed your screenshot of your receipts for supporting Dream Do Done and getting your journals. And he shared a website that people can play Zoom games. That is good. I'm going to definitely utilize that. And I was just thinking, because I know my whole family is waiting for me to organize the Zoom. I'm like, could somebody else? Like,
but Stacie, I also sent you a link. I had a friend of mine who made me a PowerPoint Family Feud game, and you can actually customize it to your family. So I just purchased that for her, and she has Jeopardy, like several games. She has Jeopardy, she has Family Feud, and all of them can be customized to your family and be able to, play it online. So I thought that was very ingenious of her to do something like that. And it's fabulous. I'm looking at it. I was very impressed by it. Like, wow, how long did it take you to create this? But this is the kind of stuff that people are doing during this time to pivot. And she works for the government, and this is what she did in her spare time. I'm like, girl, you sell enough of these, you might be able to leave that job and spin your wheels over here, because she's so intelligent, and she did this stuff all on her own, created these games automatically. It's the bomb. People really? Because I still say it all the time. My kids laugh at me. That's the bomb. But the other day I said crunk. So, don't follow my vocabulary. Whatever. Let's not get it crunk up in here. You know what that means. Don't be acting like you just turned 40 a few days ago and you don't know what that means.
No, I absolutely know. That's why I said you're dating yourself a little bit.
Just a touch. Just a touch.
It's the bomb.
That is hilarious. Well, thank you, Stephen. And I need that information for sure, because if she's creating this, I mean, that's the business. That's what we talk about here in Dream Do Done. A lot of the dreams, the things that people want to do. Yesterday I featured a segment that I did online, Destiny Designers Presents, with Diana Hilaire. She just got awarded a grant from American Express and iFund Women, $25,000 for her business. And she wasn't looking to start a business, but corporate America shifted. Her job shifted out. She was figuring out what to do. She's the mother of twins, and she just started building this brand when she comes home. And now she's in a place where she's won pitch competitions. She now has this grant, and it was all from starting the dream, saying, let me do something around what I need. And now that she's done it, who knows what this will open up doors for? This is what we talk about. There's a process to progress. It didn't start light and fluffy and all easy. She went through a lot transitioning as a new mom, and she started thinking about what she needed as a new mom, or moms who have suffered pregnancy loss. These are the things that she's focusing on her brand. And she's tuned into the show, been a part that, I mean, we give it inspiration. We need some residuals though on all your little situations, but but we want to inspire you lunchtime 1-ish every Monday to just keep moving. So what if it's not perfect? So what if it's not the way you thought it should be? at least you started doing something. You know, Stephen,
you said something key. You said something key. Says you said she started this when she got home. She started this on the side. You know, it wasn't something that she just quit her job and she started this business. She started this while she was doing other things. And I just encourage people to take action on those ideas and just start where you are, even if it's a couple hours a day when you get home. I like that.
Yeah, when you get, that's the name of her brand. When you get, I think I still have.
Are you serious? When you get home?
When she gets home.
That.
Wow. Yep. Oh my goodness. I just got like a little bit of chills for that.
Yeah, that's the name
of it.
That
is not anything that we discussed before this show. I didn't know until this show. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. That's all divine timing. And I want to shout her out again because it was something that she decided to say yes, focus on self-love, what she needs. And this is what resulted. She's able to launch, and then now she is one of.
I absolutely love it.
I know, and what a great picture and everything. Fantastic, sis.
Yeah, and she's a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Corps. It just so happens that she is. Just so happens, but this is what can happen when you take the dreams and you start making them reality, right? You actually create something that is blowing her mind. See, that's what I know is that you can have a dream and you can start second guessing your dream, and you will stay second guessing your dream until you start doing something. But once you start doing something, then the dream starts to become reality. And the more you do, that's the more you get done. And we hold you accountable to that, because how many of us know some people, they've been talking about doing stuff for years and they haven't done anything. Hey, Dion. Hey, Soror. Yeah. Yes, look at God. Isn't that amazing? So we don't want you to just tune in and be entertained by us, because I know we can be a little comical. We want you to take action. That's why we have the journals. That's why we want you to move from just thinking about it and actually doing it. So we appreciate the fact that people like Stephen continue to share testimonies, that we have another girlfriend of mine watched the show. She launched her consultant business in the middle of COVID while viewing and listening to some of the tidbits that we gave. She actually implemented them. She was texting me after the show like, oh my gosh, I never saw a dream do done. I'm glad I caught that on your page. We're not here just to waste time and energy, right? We all have businesses, we all have families, we all have children, but this is a part of our contribution to the global good, that we know the things that we've learned. Some of the things we've learned the hard way. Some of the things have come and they've been a little smooth, but we want to share it with you to shorten your learning curve and to inspire you to action. That's what we believe. That is what we do. And Dion has a question. I love it. How do you go from fear to formation? Oh, girl, that's a good one. I think that's the beginnings of a talk. I had to. Thank you, Sora. I think I will name that one.
So like, in my head, unfortunately, I'm dancing. So
you ready to Beyonce?
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
So I love that. I'll give my response and I'll let my co-host give theirs. The way to go from fear to formation is action. Right? That's the way, that's the secret sauce. That's what makes someone actually see a result. You have to take action. Fear is always going to be there, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter how much money you have, no what pedigree that you are a part of. Fear is a part of reality. And all fear is that thing in your gut that makes you say, ooh, can I really do it?
Yeah.
Is it really the right time to do it? Fear allows you to feel the fear and do it anyway. And when you take action, that's how you get into formation. Even if the action is not the perfect action, you will refine it and you will adjust it along the way because you learn the lessons. So the one way to get to formation is just do it. If you want to lose weight, I can't keep watching other people work out and the weight fall off of me. I actually have to move something, right? I actually have to do something. I have to drink the water. I have to do a sit-up. I have to take a walk. Action is going to get you into formation.
Yeah.
And Stephen just added, recognize the conversations you're having with yourself and discard the ones that don't work for you. Exactly. Because it's all up in our head. We can talk ourselves into something or we can talk ourselves out of something. The power up here, that's why so much money is spent in the personal growth and development industry, because the mind, the UNCF used to say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. The mind is where we can get tripped up. And if we can believe that a dream can take formation with action, then you start doing, and then you're able to celebrate the results by getting it done.
Yeah.
So that was a great question. Thank you for that, Dion.
And that was the best answer. I think I totally would have said everything she just said. But also just ask yourself this. Have you ever done anything, whether it's take a piano lesson or any kind of lesson where you had to practice to get better? I always look at taking action as practice, because the more you practice, the better you become, and you start recognizing, oh, okay, I'm getting good at this. Okay, this is working. I'm taking action. It's the consistent action that makes you feel good. And you're like, okay, I'm not scared of that anymore because I already know I can do that. So action is that consistent action. That's practicing, that's getting better. It's learning from what didn't work, doing what works. You know, you cannot find those things out if you don't take action. But the more you practice something, the better you start feeling, the more confidence you build in yourself that, yeah, I can actually do that. So think about it like that. Fear never goes away. It's always there. You just learn how to overcome it by saying, okay, I don't got to fear that anymore because I did this. Preparation, action, and consistency. That's how you overcome fear every single time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. Well, I must be in pulpit chick mode. I'm in pulpit chick mode because I realized that the Bible says, "Fear not," 365 times, and so once I realized that, I believe that victory is always on the other side of fear. So every time I feel fear now, besides the fact that Tamara Hartley may come to my house and like put fire under my buns, I also recognize that the Bible teaches us to fear not. I mean, it says it 365 times. And if you just study it just a little bit, you'll see every time that God said, fear not, it may have been a hill to climb, but it was always victory on the other side. So every time I feel fear now, I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and do this thing and get victorious on the other side.
You know, my son, when he was 11, and honestly, out of the mouths of babes, he asked the question. He says, Mom, how come the Bible only talks about the spirit of fear? Like, what else is there? And so when he said it, that made me think about that. It does say we weren't given the spirit of fear, because I think all that other stuff comes out of fear and what we allow it to do. And if you tackle that fear and you walk forward and you tackle it, you actually get over and you realize it's not really what you thought it was. Like Stacie said, it's in your mind. And I know that sounds spooky when we say, oh, just do it afraid. And we got all these things that we say, but the reality is, it's really true. Mm-hmm. It's really true.
Mm-hmm. Stephen said the brain creates fear because the brain's main function is to keep us safe, and fear keeps us from moving into unknown areas. Yep, that's where faith kicks in, is what you don't see and what you don't know. Absolutely. Well, you know, talking my language, Pulpit Chick. You got me right here.
Every now and again, you know, since I had to get turned up at the party, I had to get back into work.
So funny.
Oh my goodness. But look, I love the fact that we can have fun, talk about when we have fun, and not be some of those hypocritical folk. You know, this is not the show to talk about that, but you know what I mean. For those of us who been in the church since I damn in knee, as the Jamaicans would say, since a baby. We understand that it takes more. It can't just be a hearer. You have to be a doer. And that's what it really boils down to. But we appreciate that question. All of you that are tuning in, we see you on, and we thank you for being on the show. We thank you for watching the replay. We thank you for sharing it out, because our goal and the goal of this show is to really accentuate the process to progress. We don't want people thinking that you just arrive and then all of a sudden you on top of the world. There is a process. President Obama had a process before he became president, right? You know, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris had a process before she got here. President-elect Joe Biden 3 times, right? There was a process. And here he is. So there's a process to everything. And that's where the progress comes from. And we want to see you be able to be successful. So we hope you will get your copy of our Dream Do Done journal. I'm using my own journal. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, we did a good job. Excited about it. And go ahead and make sure that you reach out to somebody randomly. Random acts of kindness, I think, are some of the most beautiful ways that we can express our gratitude for the fact that we can still breathe. You know, when you think about the reality, there's over 250,000 Americans who will not be present for holidays this year. Over 250,000 Americans. That's over 250,000 families who will not have their loved ones with them during these holidays. So let's not take it for granted that we're still here and we're able to fellowship, even if it has to be via Zoom or via conference call, that we're still here. So I don't take anything for granted. Life is a gift, and we appreciate the gift of your presence on our show. And please keep us in your thoughts and prayers. We're not exempt. You know, I know for me, in my house, I need an extra portion, right? So say a word of prayer for us, send out some love and thoughts, and we just wish you a safe Thanksgiving holiday. Use wisdom. Let's not do the big celebrations the way that we're used to. Some of us are carrying this virus asymptomatic, and we do not know, and we do not want our loved ones to die as a result of us being disobedient. That's really what the bottom line is, right? When we can prevent this. So as difficult as it is, please use wisdom. Wash your hands. You know, I've been saying that. So wash your hands and wear your mask and pray, God, we get through this and we can talk about remember when, and that this doesn't become our forever reality, but a temporary reality as we self-correct, not only as a nation, but as a world, because this pandemic is wreaking havoc everywhere. So on a higher note, we love you and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm gonna let my co-host close this out and then everybody go defrost your turkeys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been more than fun. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I am so excited and grateful, and I hope that you all have so many things to be grateful for as well. And so we look forward to seeing you next week. Make sure you eat as much as you can. We're not counting carbs. We're not counting any of those things. If I have a double chin next week, it's well worth it. But happy Thanksgiving. And ladies, I am so thankful that our paths have crossed, that our relationship has continued and deepened. So I love you both. And as you said, there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yes, absolutely. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving as well. And just really, you know, I'm going to always say this, and don't get caught up in the day. I know that's a day when we kind of get off from work and we have time set aside to be with others, but be thankful every day. Celebrate Thanksgiving every day with your families. You know, don't make it just relegated to November. And that way you don't feel so, you know, like you're missing out when something like this happens and you can't do what you want to do on a particular day. I try not to get caught up on any day, any of the holidays. Valentine's Day, don't tell my husband that because he'll say, but Valentine's Day, Sweetest Day, Christmas, all of those are just days. But what are we doing with the rest of the days of our lives? Seriously. And I really do mean that. So don't get too caught up in Thanksgiving, but be thankful, be grateful every day. Have a great week.
All right. We love you.
Bye-bye.